Hey, thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're here. My name is Jerrel. I'm a human being. I develop games for a living. Let's take a look at the new Fire Emblem game that was just revealed with this new trailer from the Nintendo Direct. I've not seen this before, so this will be my first time watching it. Now, I'm not actually a big Fire Emblem fan, even though I should be. This is one of my favorite genres of games. And the reason why I'm not a huge Fire Emblem fan is because the point in which Fire Emblem games started becoming more widespread in the West, I was already pursuing my own career paths. I was out of school, and I was very busy trying to carve my way forward with my own career paths. And so I missed out on tons of Fire Emblem games, and I have been meaning to go back and try to play them, except I'm so busy developing my own games now, so I don't have a lot of time, but I would like to try to make time to catch up with Fire Emblem, because this is absolutely the kind of game that I really enjoy playing, and I specifically want to take a look at this new Fire Emblem game because I want to know where at least three of the new upcoming characters for the next Smash game are going to come from. So I'd like to see the game that those characters come from. All right, let's go ahead and get started on this bad boy here. I'll put on my headphones so I can hear the audio, and let me get out of the way here. Shrinking technique! Ah! Okay. Let's take a look now.
This is the Dagdan Empire, a
Okay.
prosperous land ruled by the gods.
Sure, okay.
The capital, Daxian, plays host to the heroic games. The winner.
So I'm kind of looking at this. This was created in a 3D environment, but all of these had to have been populated manually. So I'm just kind of thinking of how long it took. A lot of these are just cloned geometry, so there'll be, probably 10 different kinds of houses, and they just, duplicate the geometry and paste it, but it still needs to be hand populated. So I think about the amount of work that goes into these things. So usually when I play a game these days, I tend to feel a deep respect for the work that I see that has gone into the end product. I pay attention to the competence and the mastery that is required in order to produce the work. So something like this, I think, that would have taken a goodly sum of time in order to build that scene here. And they'll likely use the environments from different angles. They'll probably use this asset a lot,
The winner of.
Oh, there's sort of like a Roman Colosseum look to this design here. Interesting. Kind of like this. Cool. That is an eyeball danger though. Like you don't want things like these sticking up. You turn to the right, lean over, put your eyeball out, have a bad time. That's what I say.
Powerful fighters from across the land have gathered to participate.
Oh, okay. It sounds like a tournament arc. I like that. Let's take a look at these characters. That went by pretty fast. The story sounds like it's a kind of tournament arc, which is fun. I think that's cool. Okay, we have a character with some kind of, there's a trick in character design. If you want to make your character stand out and look interesting, use asymmetry. That's have the left half be different from the right half of a character. If you see here, this left, or her left side of the character, that's our right, but her left is a bit more free. There's less armor, but her right arm and her right leg have more armor on them. They use asymmetry to make characters just look eye-catching. It makes characters look more visually complex and interesting. It's a trick that you can use with your own character designs. There's these unfortunately, these are the eggs that you get from Gwyneth Paltrow, her brand Goop, Goop. They take these eggs and they stick them inside of your.
Across the land have gathered to participate.
Okay, and these characters look pretty neat. This guy's got like a gem inside of his sword that probably does some kind of. Ooh, I like the detail here. Have a look at the scabbard. Oh yeah, this is a really cool flourish on this scabbard here. You can see the trim. You can see a thick edge on that, and then the belt buckle that, or the button that attaches here. Really cool, really interesting detail. I really like the layering on that, the curve, the visual flow. You can tell these are artists that have been doing this for a long time. They understand visual flow. Have a look at how the ornamentation on the sword is just barely visible. You can get this nice visible flow, but it leads back, Oh, that's so neat looking. I do like that. And who is this friend? Who is this? Is this the... Which of these characters is going to end up in Smash Bros, the new Smash Bros? Or are there going to be so many characters in here that it's one character, but then the alts all have different character models? Again, looks like we have a bit of asymmetry with the shoulder pad there. See, we have a gold shoulder pad on the left. You know, if you look at Cloud Strife, he's got a big shoulder pad on one side. You have a bit more of this sort of plating armor here coming down the side. You have the hair swoop, asymmetrical. This is a very green boy. This is the greenest boy I've seen in a long time. And the person that is blocking is... We don't know who that is. I would have used a shield to block a strike like that. This is a very red boy. He's got a nice Cyborg 007 situation going on with his color scheme and his flowing scarf here. He's got a sort of a head bandana and ornament there. Ooh, I do like the trim. Take a look at the trim on his pauldrons here and his neat armor. Kind of looks like whale's teeth, you know. I'm not sure what this visual motif is meant to represent, but it certainly breaks up the monotony of just the red. But this is a very red boy in a way that the other boy was a very green boy. Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave. Okay. Oh, we have a musical instrument. I already dig it. I want to know what that character does. This guy's got a spear. Okay, that's the character that we saw earlier. This may be the other character that we saw earlier with the cool scabbard for the sword. It's a very sandally population here. Maybe it's a hot desert environment, but sandals seem to be pretty in vogue, as the hip young kids say.
4 heroes. Kai,
Okay, so it revolves around 4 heroes. Okay.
a young boy determined to win the games to save his imprisoned father.
Okay, he's got to save his imprisoned father. He's got a spear and a tiny, tiny, tiny knife. Yeah.
Dietrich,
This color is far more balanced than the green boy and the red boy. This character has much more visual balance, and I like the visual cohesion of this sort of sandal material, but you see it present here. I suppose this would be a kind of leather. So you see the leather present there on the legs, on the hips, and on the wrist, but I really, really like the layering on this character. See, you have this light-colored undergarment, a white. It's present there, but also present here as well, along the hips there. And we also have the leather that builds visual cohesion there. So we have the leather present there, there. And we have this neat little, what kind of feels like a hood. You know, to us, the outline, it makes it look like a hood. We would interpret it as a hood. I don't know if that's actually what it is, but it sort of looks familiar. This is a strong character design. I actually quite like this. I'll try to not turn this into a character design analysis. Okay, I'll set a viewing target. If this video hits 10,000 views, I will do a character analysis video on all of these characters that we see in the video here. I realize I'm running on time. I'm just going to focus on just the trailer now.
a swordsman ever on the hunt.
Alucard. Am I right? Oh, that is a sick sword. Oh, look at that. Yeah. That's cool. I like that. I'm getting Symphony of the Night vibes here.
A queen
Theodora.
the
Okay.
long-held dream of her homeland.
Oh, I'm just playing Tales of Berseria, and I'm getting the whole demon arm vibe situation going on there.
And Lita, a
She's
musician
cool.
with her
She's cool. I
sights
want to see what
on
that does.
revenge. Guide whichever character you choose to victory.
Oh, you pick one of the
as
4
they
heroes.
weave
Okay.
their own unique tale.
Fortunes Weave.
Between matches, you can strengthen your forces in different ways.
Strengthen your forces in different ways. Okay.
Hone your techniques at the training
Okay.
grounds.
We'll run around. I do like the environments. Let's just take a quick look at the environments here. So,
Sights set on revenge.
okay, I do like the environments here.
You choose
They're mildly detailed, not overly populated with detailed density, which I feel a game like this, it's not super important. You know, you're not running around in first person exploring these environments like a. Okay, hold on. Now this is pretty early in development. This is still pretty early in development. You can see a technical flaw here. you see the rigging on the character. So the rigging is the process of putting bones into a character model so that it can be animated. You see this has cut in on a really weird angle, so the leg is sticking in a weird bit. So that is not quite right. What I expect they will do is that this garment will be more physics simulated, but really that area shouldn't be cutting in like that. It's very inorganic, and it is a flaw. It's an error during the rigging process. And again, rigging is putting bones into a character model so that we can animate it. So this tells me that they'll probably fix that, at some point during development. But it looks, those are the kind of flaws as developers. We have to look for those technical flaws, and we have to address them if we have the time and the resources to address those issues. We have a limited amount of time, limited resources, that's manpower, and the management has to say, yes, spend the time to fix that. But there's so many things to do during game development that sometimes things just don't get addressed because they have lower priority. Really interesting use of colors. We're just using a very simple depth of field on this environment here, but these characters, I believe these characters, this is so weird. I'm not sure if these characters are actually in the environment or if they're superimposed on the screen. And this is really weird compositing for me because it feels like these characters don't actually exist in this environment. You have a look at this character here, and if she was existing on this plane, she'd be really small and leaning back really far. Same with this character. So I feel that these characters are actually superimposed on the screen. And the fact that this character is present on the screen twice, present here and present here, this is really weird compositing. And I would have the cinematic director or the scenario director, I would sort of point this out and say, hey, this just feels off. These characters don't fit into the environment very well, and we put the character in there twice, so the compositing is really weird on that. The use of colors, I really, really, really like the use of colors in this whole piece so far, because the color palettes are just really pleasant to look at. There's a softness to the color palettes, but it feels very sort of Egyptian. It evokes a sense of, or no, like an ancient Roman Colosseum sort of thing. That's what it feels like. Strengthen your forces in different ways. I wonder, do these games have a lot of gore? Do we get like stabbing and blood, or it's just such an interesting franchise that I would like to learn more about. See, and then this is a situation where the characters fit into the environment better, but in the previous scene, something felt really off about the framing. Oh, he's got like a fun little mini pompadour. Okay, we got an eye patch guy. This kind of makes me feel like, like a sort of a Ginyu Force look with the underwear and the thighs, warmers or whatever. But is this what they call a thigh gap? There's a gap in your pants. There's a gap in your pants where your thighs are, and they call that the thigh gap. It's so stupid. I know that's not what a thigh gap is. This is a cool detail. I really like this cool Roman armor look. It's just really, really interesting. It's really cool. Fight in the first main match. Okay. I'm gonna move forward with the video now. I'm just gonna let it play. Oh, big bird battle. I like this. I like that. Okay. Yeah, these games, it's not important for these games to be intensely detailed. The environments are a bit sparse when it comes to the detail density, and that's just fine because that is not the core appeal of these games. You're going to say, oh, well, this game doesn't look like The Last of Us. Well, this isn't The Last of Us. This is a strategy RPG game. And before this started, I saw the thumbnail for this, and I had a knee-jerk reaction, and I immediately thought, if this is another mobile Fire Emblem game, I'm gonna throw up. I'm actually gonna throw up. Okay. Okay, cool. So you're not just in the Colosseum, you can go around the island. So maybe this takes place on just one island. What is this dragon friend? I like him. Oh, you know what? I'm just noticing it. I really like the outline shader. Have a look at the outline shader that they're using. It's quite visible here on all the props here on the table and around the characters. It looks organic. And it's because there are some imperfections and variation to the outline itself, and variation allows things to feel more organic. Really fantastic. I really like that. Also, it helps the foreground stick out just a bit more out of the background. The background does have depth of field, which is a photographic technique that we use to simulate a sense of the background being out of focus, and that way we pay more attention to things in the foreground. Really cool armor on this character. I really like this. Um, it's good to have characters, if they spend time near each other, to have different colors from each other. So this pink really stands out from the blue. If these characters interact much, it helps them just feel more interesting to look at. Ooh, treasure, I like that. Oh, hold on, hold on. You guys know I like picking me up some treasure. Okay, so there is weapon durability. Veroquine. Veroquine? Veroquine. I don't know what they want me to say. A slender magic sword. I misread this. I'm looking at this and I think slender magic is a special form of magic. So a slender magic sword. So to me, slender magic is the one word. A slender magic sword. And I want to know what slender magic does if it makes you thinner. Like it casts magic, but then it uses up the calories in your body and then it makes you more slender. Oh boy, I tell you, I'm in my late 30s and I wouldn't mind some slender magic right now. Though I guess going biking or running on a treadmill is a form of slender magic, I guess. Okay, so we get a look at the core gameplay here, and readability is what is most important. You have to balance readability with detailed density. And sure, you could say, oh, make it more realistic, add more stuff, make it like The Last of Us. That doesn't help in this situation. What is most important, the core appeal of this game is the strategy, right? This is a strategy RPG. You have to be able to discern. You have to be able to read what is your environment and then respond accordingly. So readability is what's important here. That being said, this environment just feels a little low definition. This feels a bit low definition. I would like to see it be a bit more consistent with the visuals that we see from the cinematics, because that stuff is quite nice to look at. Very pleasant, but this feels soft and blurry, is what I mean. So there's a balancing point, you know, and it could be they just don't want environments to look distracting, but I would like it if it wasn't so blurry. Well, then I want to see what that menu says. Combat arts. So you can make a little painting in the middle of battle. No, I know that's not what it is. Storage, trade. Okay, you can trade items back and forth. Okay, I'm gonna let it play. I'm seriously gonna let it play now. Archery, yeah, very good. Hold on. I'm just gonna have to rate. I'm gonna rate her archery technique here. As an actual archer, I teach archery. Let me see. Okay. Mediterranean style, one finger over, one under. Okay. The way she loaded that bow wasn't physically possible. I'm just gonna nitpick. Okay. Don't do that. Absolutely do not do that. So you see how she keeps her bow hand, the finger raised? You only do that if you have difficulty keeping the arrow on the bow. As you draw your arrow can slip off the bow. You can use your finger to hold the arrow in place, but lower your finger, get it out of the way. She kept her finger up, and if you do that, you can actually push your arrow off course as it's leaving the bow, but also you'll end up slicing your front finger because of the fletching. She does have the arrow, she's shooting off the hand. She should be wearing a glove for consistency and for protection. So already that's a D because of that. Now, if you have a look at her follow through on the bow, you're supposed to, when you release the arrow, you have to support the bow, keep the bow in place. What she's done is she's flicked the bow outward. And if you see, the path of the arrow is traveling this way, but the bow is out here, which means in actuality, she would have pushed the bow off course. So that has docked more points, and your follow through should be a straight line back from the arrow if you have a dynamic follow through like that. What she's done is she's flicked her hand back like that. So this is all wrong. Everything she's done, 100% wrong. This is an absolute F. Total failure on archery. So this is the worst possible archery technique. Not good. She did absolutely everything wrong. But it doesn't matter because it's a video game that's stylized, and in a video game, you just have to make things look really cool. So this is absolutely wrong. Everything's wrong with this. But it doesn't matter because it just has to look cool in a video game. I recall Breath of Fire on the Super Nintendo. I remember seeing the character Bo shooting, and he sort of flicks out his butt a little bit, you know, when he shoots his bow, and his sort of has a little flourish and a flare, and his butt sticks out. And I thought that can't be right. There's, you know, as a kid before I learned archery, I thought surely that's not right, you know, a little butt flourish. Okay, this is a magical man. He had. There's a lot of characters in this. I'm just gonna let it play now. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, area of effect. Oh, okay. Hold on. No, I will pause it though. That okay. That's a cool ability. I'm going to assume that when people go in there, there is a sustained damage of some kind. Cool. I dig it. I dig it. Ooh, I like. You can see the shadow of the Colosseum. You know, kind of gives me the Chunin exam vibes when Shikamaru was fighting. What's her name? The gal with the fan, Temari. These are really interesting character designs. I like the outfits. Whoa, he's got the one-winged angel. Yeah, cool. I like it. This looks awesome. I really like that. There are some things that I would like to see be a little different, or you know, a little different, but it doesn't matter. You know, what matters is a cohesive game experience. Um, this looks so cool. Thanks very much for enjoying this game trailer with me. It looks really awesome. Very interesting. Okay, now I have a piano tuning job that I've got to get to, so this is going to be my last one for the next few hours, but there's a bunch more games to look at. So take care of yourselves, be well, and if you'd like to see some other videos, I'll put them on the screen, but I really got to run. I gotta get to this. See you around.